So I have a pretty annoying idiocracy-like story here for everybody. A high school in Littlestown, Pennsylvania, has apologized after the Yearbook Club blurred out two teenagers' pro-Trump apparel in a yearbook photo. Quote, "The mistake was not noticed during the editorial preview process prior to print. We apologize on behalf of the Yearbook Club. It is not the policy or practice of the district to improperly censor speech," Littlestown High School said in a statement to local Fox News affiliate WPMT. The apology comes after 16-year-old Jeremy Gebhart said he and his friend had their Make America Great Again hats blurred out of a yearbook photo taken during the school's Spirit Week. Quote, "I just think he wants to help our country, and I think he is," Gebhart said of wearing the hat to support President Trump. "They blurred our hats out," Gebhardt's mother Lorraine told reporters she was, quote, "infuriated and felt her son's First Amendment rights were ignored." Okay, so let's get a couple things straight here. Do I believe the school that, it was a mistake during the editorial preview process that they blurred these out? No, it wasn't a mistake. It was obviously on purpose. That's not a mistake. You don't whoops. It's not like, whoops, I slipped and fell. No, it was you blurred out a MAGA hat. There was intent to blur it out. To say there was no intent, that's ridiculous. It requires proactive action to do it. So again, that's a little silly. That's really silly, actually. The idea that it was an accident or it was a mistake? No, it was obviously on purpose. So I don't buy their attempt to weasel out of it by saying whoopsies, our bad. They should have just been honest about it and said, hey, we were wrong, but we did it and we're going to undo it or whatever. I don't know. They could have said something like that. But every aspect of the story actually pisses me off. So it pisses me off that people honestly want to wear some political shit in their yearbook photo. And I love the reasoning the kid gave. I just think he wants to help our country, and I think he is. As if this 16-year-old kid who makes an argument like that knows what the fuck he's talking about and what he's supporting. I love Trump because he's trying to help our country, and I think he is. So I'm gonna wear the hat. Have you considered you don't know what the fuck you're talking about and you have no idea what's actually going on in the country? Have you considered that? That, you're just playing for a team and, I don't know, probably your family is super pro-Trump, so you're like, yeah, I'm going to be like my mama and daddy, and you wear a hat, and you're like, yeah, I'm pro-Trump. So there's no humility on that front. It's like you think, with a shitty argument like that, you still somehow think, me, bro, I'm just expressing my well-thought-out beliefs. Oh, please, you don't know dick. So it's obnoxious that, who does that? Who does that? I'm going to wear my fucking Trump hat to my yearbook photo. I mean, seriously, stop and think about the kind of person it takes to do something like that. That kind of person, it just irks me so much. I love Bernie Sanders. I would never have worn a Bernie Sanders hat or some shit to a fucking yearbook photo shoot. I'm ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, now putting that aside. Why is it that people who are nominally on the left, like this school, whoever in the school made the actual decision to blur it out, because somebody did, I don't buy it that it was a mistake, but whoever made that decision, it's like the pro-Trump clowns always set the most obvious traps ever, like the saddest traps ever, that you could spot from a mile away. And then these dumbass, out-of-touch lefties, walk into the trap so casually. It was the most obvious trap ever. They were basically screaming, censor me, and if you censor me, then I become a victim. And the fucking dumbasses are like, doo-dum, doo-dum, doo-doo-doo-dum, doo-dum, doo-dum, doo-doo-doo-dum. Is that an obvious trap? Well, it probably is, but I'll try to walk into it anyway, and maybe it'll work out good for us. Doo-dum, doo-dum, doo-doo-doo-dum, doo-dum. Oh, I've been caught in the trap. No shit you were caught in the trap. You had one job. The one job is you don't censor the fucking dumbass pro-Trump kids, because the second you censor them, you make them a victim, and then they get to run around and go, oh, my freedom of speech! Oh, my freedom of speech! Oh, my freedom of speech! I'm so persecuted. Now let's ban all the Muslims. So it's like, it's not that hard, man. It's not that hard. If you're on the left, it's not that hard to walk into their dumbass, obvious traps. You had one job. The one job is just don't censor them. Don't fucking blur out their shitty hat. They have shitty hats. And yes, they're really not bright. I read the argument he made. I think he's doing good for the country. What the fuck does that mean? So, they're silly people. Acknowledge that they're silly people, but don't, the second you take any sort of action like blurring out their hat, all of a sudden, you somehow become dumber, and you somehow become even more petty. How are you this stupid? Like, they still, at this late date, these idiots still haven't figured it out. You have one job. By the way, just so you know, I want this to be clear. They all love it when they're censored. I'm serious. You think guys like Milo or Rave Dubin or Ben Shapiro, you think they don't know? Like, oh, the second that there's protesters against me, the second they try to censor me or deplatform me, oh, money, baby. Because then it becomes a news story. And then everybody's got to talk about it. And then the common sense position is just let them speak. So it helps them. It helps them. Of course it helps them. They love being censored. They fucking bask in it all day long because then they become the victim. And then it becomes a bigger story and they get their name out there more. And that's the same shit that happens here. You had one job. Don't censor the dumbass fucking pro-Trump kids. That's it. That's all you had to do, and you did it. You did it. Because you're silly and you're also dumb and you don't realize, like, because what's their thought process? It's not deep. That's bad. He's a bad man. And that hat represents bad things. He's a bigot and he's a racist and he's bad. And you're bad for wearing the hat and it's offensive. And I'm offended. So I'm gonna blur the hat. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna blur it. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. That's what I am. Okay, we get it. Your fucking virtue signaling meter is breaking. I got it. I understand. I see you. But it's like, that's what I mean, the idiocracy story. I hate everybody in this story. I hate the person wearing the fucking pro-Trump hats. You're not a hero. You're not a genius. You got no clue what the fuck you're talking about. You're silly. But I hate the fucking censorious person on the left, too. Blur it. It is so offensive. I don't give a fuck what your sensibilities are, man. You're a yearbook photo editor. Fuck off. Oh, God damn it. Oh, I hate everything. Okay, I think I've made that abundantly clear in this segment.